Music City. This week with Bob Mueller.
This week,
I feel like we owe the country answers as to what we would do about health care.
Governor Haslam tries to sell Insure Tennessee to state lawmakers, telling them this is not Medicaid expansion, this is not Obamacare.
Families with multiple jobs just to make ends meet will go to bed tonight with very little hope of having health care.
State lawmakers were not persuaded. Opponents killed the bill in committee, denying a vote by the full state legislature. More in our This Week cover story.
I want to work with Congress to replace mindless austerity with smart investments.
The president delivers a budget plan and a warning to Congress. The president puts funding in his budget for a new federal courthouse in Nashville. And insight from our media and political experts, Steve Gill and Jerry Maynard. Hello again and welcome to another edition of This Week. The governor's Insure Tennessee plan to provide health care coverage to low-income Tennesseans was killed by state lawmakers who themselves have government-subsidized health care coverage. More in our This Week cover story. But first, a look at the other political headlines of the week.
It's about getting the right care in the right place at the right time. If you gave your loved one an option, you can have health coverage now to address your very real needs. And with that, the possibility that you might lose that in the future, or you could never have it. Which one would you choose for your loved one?
Governor Haslam outlined his Insure Tennessee plan using Medicaid expansion money without expanding Medicaid to buy health insurance for nearly 300,000 uninsured Tennesseans.
As a Republican elected leader, I feel like we owe the country answers as to what we would do about health care. For too long, we've said what we don't like, mainly Obamacare. Well, this is a chance to show what we would do.
The governor has the support of Democrats.
Oh, I think it's something that the General Assembly should pass.
And why is that?
Well, I think the governor made some good points tonight. He is a plan that's been worked on for 2 years. On our caucus, we've been working on it even longer than that. It provides health care for 300,000 people that work now and don't have the ability to have it. It spurs the economy, and it is the right thing to do.
Opposition comes from the governor's own party, as conservative Republicans distrust everything that touches the Obama administration.
I think easily the majority of the members at best are doubtful. They're not sure if this is good for Tennessee on a long-term basis. So the governor's got his work cut out for him. He's going to have to convince 50 out of 99, and he's not there today.
Representative Cassida knows how he will vote.
I am a no. I am a no.
And while the Nashville Chamber supports Insure Tennessee, the group Americans for Prosperity told lawmakers to vote no.
We can look to other states like Arkansas, where they've had cost overruns. They're now having to form a task force to fix their expansion. There's no need for us to go down that same road.
Opponents killed Insure Tennessee in committee, denying a vote of the full legislature. The governor has not given up.
The problem hadn't gone away. And I understand, like I said, I understood from the very beginning how hard this would be politically. But, you know, I'm still open to trying to find a way.
President Obama's $4 trillion 2016 budget is before Congress, but the president wants lawmakers to address funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which runs out at the end of the month, first.
We need to fund the department. Pure and simple.
Republicans are using the issue to wage a fight over the president's immigration actions.
You may have noticed they usually don't agree with me. But don't jeopardize our national security over this disagreement.
The president's $4 trillion budget calls for $478 billion in public works to upgrade the nation's highways, bridges, and transportation projects. Republicans are angry about the tax increases up to $2 trillion, including $320 billion in new taxes on corporations and the wealthiest Americans. The Obama administration wants to use the money toward expanded tax cuts for the middle class.
I want to work with Congress to replace mindless austerity with smart investments that strengthen America.
Included in the president's budget is $181 million to replace the Estes Kefauver Federal Building in downtown Nashville, something that was recommended 20 years ago. Now to our This Week cover story. A majority of state lawmakers said they were against the governor's health care plan for low-income Tennesseans. Now we find out an overwhelming number of those same state lawmakers have state-subsidized health care themselves. It's part of a fallout after lawmakers shut down a special session Wednesday on the governor's health care plan. News 2's Chris Bungard has been looking into the numbers.
And ultimately, I think the poll data shows, no matter whose poll you look at, by the way, that people were for this.
Along with Governor Bill Haslam, there are many voices following his fellow Republican lawmakers saying no to his health care plan for nearly 300,000 low-income Tennesseans.
Veterans, working mothers, single fathers, families with multiple jobs, just to make ends meet, will go to bed tonight with very little hope of having health care.
Those who do have health care are state lawmakers, and it comes from the government. The Associated Press says 6 of 7 senators who voted to kill the governor's proposal are enrolled in state government-subsidized health insurance. What's more, News 2 has learned 116 of 132 Tennessee Capitol Hill lawmakers are signed up for state government-subsidized medical coverage, according to the Legislative Administration Office. Records there indicate the state covers 80 to 60% of the lawmakers' health care plans, and most are eligible to continue at those lower levels after leaving office.
We really feel like we proposed a plan that was just what the legislature asked us to do.
This comes as the governor remains unsure if he might have eventual support for his health care plan for low-income Tennesseans. Other advocates who came to Capitol Hill to testify this week say they are in the fight for the long haul.
They make too much money for some programs and make not enough money to pay their own coverage.
But you can't count Tennessee state lawmakers in the group needing government health care. Chris Bungard, Nashville's News 2.
And stay with us. This week continues in a moment.